Greetings, sports fans, and how is everybody? Hope everybody's hanging in there and staying safe. I am Charles. Got Patrick here with me, eating jelly beans, the same jelly beans he said he wasn't going to be eating, but
Well,
he's
you hit
eating
the
them.
record button while I was reaching for the jelly bean.
I told him no, dude. I told you
You
I
were
was going to
supposed to
hit the
stop me.
record button.
You were supposed to stop me, and you didn't do that. Where were you at on that one?
Oh,
Drop the
okay.
ball.
Now I
Drop
only
the
told
ball.
you. Only told you 3 times before we were about to start. But anyway,
Whatever.
so oh whatever. Okay.
Whatever.
So
I'm in mood right now.
all right. So as you can see, we are here for the latest Breath of Fresh Air webcast, and we have a few interesting topics for you to, we have a few interesting topics for you to discuss. I can't get the words out. Excuse me. We're a little tired. So
It's a bad thing. This is only a first take.
yeah, well, you know us, we only get one take.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so whatever, it's going out there. But Patrick, let's get started. And we'll start with this whole thing involving Dak Prescott. First, talking about the Dallas Cowboys quarterback, and apparently over the weekend he had a party. So there's varying reports out there. TMC have reported, and we know how it is with TMC. They don't normally get these things wrong, but they're reporting there was around 30 people at this party. Uh, Dak Prescott came out Tuesday with a statement saying it was just a dinner gathering or whatnot. You know how those statements can be. So, Patrick, regardless, if these reports are true, that he held a party, do you think him holding a party is irresponsible given the times we are living in today with all the lockdowns and all of the shelter in place rules from the coronavirus pandemic? How do you feel?
All right. I got one question. It's the only question I have. Was Gronkowski there?
No, Gronkowski was not there, from
Then
what
it's
I
not a
know.
problem.
So just because he's not there, it's not a party.
Hey, look, because Gronkowski brings like 30 extra people when he comes, and a lot of drugs. So it's not a problem. No, seriously, no, this is not a problem. I don't think it is. Dak's house is probably big enough for everybody to sustain social distancing. I don't see a problem with it. Everybody says, I mean, it's just a get together. Everybody's having a few drinks, socializing. Can't do it at a bar, might as well do it at the house. I don't see a problem with it.
Well, I can see where you're coming from with that. But
It's no different than a block party.
is it?
Well, you might have more people, but it's going to be more wide open. I mean, for real, think about it. The neighborhood I live in, there is 30 houses that live here. The average people in a home is what, four or five, maybe? And that's 5 times 30. That's 150 people. Block party. Okay. Dak Prescott, 30 people in a house, possibly outside the house. As long as they practice social distancing, I don't see the problem.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, Patrick. So this 30, if there was 30 people at this party, well,
Yeah.
you're in an enclosed area. So the air, unless he's ventilating, unless he's got the doors open,
Which
unless
probably does. It is summer.
it's not summer. We're just out getting out of winter.
Well, that means it's not hot enough then. So even better.
Is it?
Yeah, why not?
So look, but here's the thing, Patrick. So I mean, I think if you are Dak Prescott, you have to be aware of what's going on. Now, I am with you. I mean, the man is a grown dude, and he should be able to do what he wants as a grown dude. However, there are laws and stuff that has been put in place. You know how it is. We have these shelter in place laws that we're all going through right now. And
Recommendations. Actually.
are they recommendations? I don't know, Patrick. They are not recommendations. These are rules that were set by the governor.
They are recommendations in the state of Florida. So I don't know what they are in Texas, but I know in Florida they're recommendations. They're not laws.
Okay. Well, in Florida, recommendations. In Texas, yeah, they are laws. I mean, the governor came out and said, "Hey, y'all need to shelter in place." And I know Florida has become one of those states. As a matter of fact, Florida might have opened the door for a couple of other things to get started with some of those rules that you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I did hear about that. All right, bless you. Uh, but yeah, in Texas, yes, there is a shelter in place law, or I mean, I guess until further notice. And if that is the case, if you're Dak Prescott, you have to be aware. And also, you're the quarterback of the Cowboys. So anything that you do is going to be extra scrutinized. It's going to be under an extra hot microscope. You just kind of have to be aware. And because of those things, it looks really, really irresponsible for him to be doing this. And you know what, Patrick, honestly, it looks, I said it looks irresponsible.
Okay, and I get that.
It is necessarily, but it could be perceived that way.
And I get that. But see, this is the thing, is that you could be scared of something, but don't. Let me think how to say this. Hold on. You can have fear, but don't live in fear. And that's what I mean. You know, and we even said this a couple of weeks ago in a webcast that says, you know, are we overreacting to this? And we both said yes.
Right.
And but see, this is the thing. This is the thing, is that Dak is doing exactly what he should get to do. He can be scared of the virus, but he doesn't have to live in fear of it. And that's what I'm saying, is like, to me, I don't see it as a problem, as long as he takes the proper precautions. Hey, as soon as you walk in the door, hit your hand with that Lysol, and I'm talking like the Lysol, spray the Lysol on your hand sanitizer, and spray your breath with this Smirnoff, and we're good. Kill all the viruses that walk in. As long as he's taken the proper precautions, I don't see a problem with this. Even with the shelter in place, I don't see a problem.
Right. But Patrick, another part of that is they want to limit the amount of people you have at these gatherings. And so that's another part that has to be considered. Now,
and I get that.
I'm with
you. 6 feet apart.
I'm with you in terms of what you're saying, because yes, we did talk about that, and I still feel that way. I don't think we shouldn't have to live in fear. I feel like we should be able to do things. I feel like we should be able to live life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do agree with you there. But if these rules are in place that says they want to limit the number of people, no matter what, even if it is a 6-foot rule or something like that, they don't want people in groups. And so if that is the case, that's where it could get to that irresponsible type of deal. It just seems like it to me, and I honestly, it's just me personally, I don't even think it has anything to do with the rules. I just think Dak Prescott thinks he's the Dallas Cowboys quarterback and he could do whatever he wants to.
If I was Dak, I'd do the same thing. They'd be like, social distancing. I'd be party at my place, baby.
Yeah.
But we need to practice social distancing. And the week after.
Because Patrick, I'm with you on everything you said. And I agree with you. But it's just that whole thing about trying to limit the amount of people that are in groups, whether that is less than 10 people or less than 30 people or whatever the rulings are. If you're holding these social gatherings, then okay, cops might get called, things might get said, and if you are Dak or a member of the Cowboys, you have to be aware. Like stuff like this is gonna be hot. It's going to be piping hot, huge spotlight on you. And then you're going to get scrutinized for it. If you are getting scrutinized for it, then you can't. It's kind of funny that you would come out with a statement and say, well, I'm just frustrated with everything that's being said. Well, Dak kind of comes to the territory. And again, yeah, kind of comes to the territory. And again, that to me, Patrick, that's the bigger thing. Like, there seems to be a superiority complex with the Dallas Cowboys. Just us. And if you have, go ahead.
Sorry, but one thing, and that stems from Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I mean, and they're the most profitable franchise in sports, man. At least they're at $5 billion, over $5 billion annually is what they make. And with all that money coming in, and then the whole nostalgia around the Cowboys being quote unquote America's team, then I think they're saying, "Yep, see, I love the eye roll," and so you get the, and then you get all this stuff that comes with it, and part of that is this complex that some of these players might get in their head, like they're just invincible. Like none of this stuff applies to them. It just seems like they're not even human at points, and with this, that's what it seems like to me. Like I feel like Dak Prescott comes across as a intelligent guy, a guy who seems like he would be aware of all the stuff that is going on, whether that's social issues or whatnot. Yeah. So for him to do this, not to me, yeah, I'm the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, he has and sometimes he has Jameson Winston complex, where he thinks he can walk into a convenience store and steal crab legs.
Out of all things, crab legs. I still can't believe that. But
but you know, and look, I get it. It all boils down to the fact that these laws are in place to protect us. And one of the things that, and we haven't said this in a long time, sometimes you have to do what you need to do to protect people from themselves. And that's what the government is doing. And I get it. And I understand. With all that being said, again, just practice social distancing and do your thing. Just stay safe. Wash your hands. Stay safe. That's it.
Yep. Yep. So, I don't know. Does it? Well, I mean, we'll see what else comes about this. I mean, to me, I don't think it's that big of a deal. That's just me. I mean, I think if this was the case, okay, talk to him, warn him, make sure this doesn't happen again. If it's that big. So yeah,
media is going to blow it out of proportion anyway.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, and then I mean, it's not like we have a lot to talk about, right? So when it comes to
we're scraping at this point on this show.
Hey, that's what we do. Scrape it from the bottom, Patrick. Let's go.
Scrape it from the bottom. Hey, folks, y'all might be getting some hip hop tutorials and breakdowns next couple of weeks. Because
it's coming. Maybe next week.
Maybe this week. I might even go over a technology class or something. Bring out a whiteboard and show you how a network's built. Everybody's gonna be like, whatever.
Oh boy. Well, Patrick, let's move on to the next topic there. And we are talking about the XFL. So the XFL it was either yesterday or today or Monday or Tuesday, they filed for bankruptcy. So there's no word on whether or not they're going to try to come back. But if everything is done, of course, this is the second time in the last couple of decades the XFL has just kind of flopped. Now, in this case, this one's a little bit different. Obviously, we had this coronavirus just shut down everything, so there's really no telling how successful the XFL is going to be as a product. So I guess the bigger question is this the last of the XFL?
Are you asking at this point?
Yeah, that's that
No,
question.
okay. Just
Yeah,
making
my
sure
bad.
you didn't say, Patrick. What's your thought? Okay.
I'm sorry.
So, truthfully, I can see this going. I can see this going a good way. Good for XFL. I could also see it going bad for the XFL. Bad is the fact that they did have to file for bankruptcy. At this point, Vince McMahon needs to let it go. If he's gonna stop, then he needs to stop and let's let it go. And this is the way that I actually see it do going a little more. I think the XFL is done. But it could also go the other way. And you said many episodes ago that the XFL could possibly be a amateur league for the NFL. If they're trying to stay afloat, might be something that they partner with the NFL to stay afloat and bring in people so that they can use them as an amateur league, or maybe even a farm league, so to speak, and the teams buy into the XFL that way. But I don't see the NFL spending money on it like that. So I personally think the XFL is done.
Yeah, and to that point about the XFL becoming perhaps maybe a minor league to the NFL, there's a few players who did sign with NFL teams coming out of the XFL. So, I mean, I do think there is some opportunities there for the two to partner up and kind of become that. Now, the issue, or maybe it's not necessarily an issue as much as it might be an ego thing, but like you said, Vince McMahon runs the company. He runs the XFL, and he's the one who wanted to bring it back after the first time where it kind of went belly up. Uh, he's very prideful, and when he gets into any type of business venture, he's trying to see this through, and he wants the bad boy to be successful. Now, of course, like I said, with this one, I mean, I guess that's any businessman to a degree. But when you have a unique this is a unique situation, and we know what we're going through right now with I mean, you talked about it with the last topic, the shelter in place orders, not being able to go anywhere, everything just getting shut down. These are definitely unique circumstances as to why the XFL didn't, or I mean, we couldn't, there was really no way of telling. I mean, they only played 5 weeks. So so we really, I don't think that's enough of a sample size to see whether or not a league that is new is successful. From everything we saw, the ratings were decent. They were, I mean, the football, or at least in my opinion, the quality of the football, I thought was pretty good considering. I mean, if you have players who are supposed to be, I guess, notch below NFL quality, I thought it was pretty good. I thought the product was pretty good. I felt like there was a good amount of energy when you watched the games in terms of the players and the home crowds that were there. I think the crowds were about it. I feel like it could have been successful if it continued to roll through at toward the end of the season. I mean, okay, I think it would have got further than what was it? The Alliance of American Football last year when they had to break down during the season. I think the XFL would have been able to sustain a season at least, and then they could have went back and reevaluated at the end. But I'm with you though, Patrick. I don't see a scenario where they're gonna try to come back, unless they do what you had said about perhaps becoming like a minor league to the NFL. I don't necessarily see them coming back and trying to sustain on their own. So I'm with you on that.
Too much money, man. Too much money to have to bring in. So yeah, I think they're done.
Well, all right. Okay. Because you don't normally go back in. Oh boy. Well, I got another one for you that, and I think you're on this topic right here, Patrick. You're about to get loose. So, Christian McCaffrey, man, The running back for the Carolina Panthers got this ridiculous extension, 4 years, $64 million. So that averages out to 16 million per year. I think that is a million higher than what Todd Gurley got on his contract with the Rams. So this right here, this is a contract that a lot of the other running backs were trying to get. When Le'Veon Bell held out, he was trying to get something in regards to this, just simply because he felt like he was not only a running back, but he was also a number 2 receiver in a lot of ways. So he was trying to get some type of money like this. But Christian McCaffrey gets it. And how do you feel about the contract, Patrick? Now, me personally, I think this is too high. But what's your thoughts? Okay, I see it. I need words.
Okay, look. In a league that is pass heavy, you're going to give a running back $16 million a year. Look, and it's Christian McCaffrey. He's not worth that. I mean, to me, it's hard to justify any running back making over 10 to 12 million a year. And the reason why is because you never see a great sample size of what they're actually able to do. Now, you do have a lot of running backs that are like Bell, who comes out of the backfield and is the quote unquote number 2 wide receiver. And he actually had a good point when he was making that argument for his contract. But you're not, there's a lot of but every running back does that now. And even then, they're never your first look. And half the time, they're not even your second look. And even more times, they're not your third look. They're your last look, or your, what do they call it?
It's dump offs.
Your dump offs or your bailout plan. Unless you have somebody like, let's say, Tony Gonzalez, who's retired. If you have somebody like him, he can be your dump off as a tight end. Greg Olsen is another one that you can do that with, but he's got better hands than most wide receivers out there. But a running back getting this kind of money, I just don't see it unless they're using him and they're hoping that he becomes a pass blocker. I don't know. $16 million is a lot of money for somebody to be getting, and you're only using them as a pass blocker. So they must be seeing something that I don't see, and they're probably going to give him 25 to 30 carries per game, which I doubt. Other than that, I don't see a point to giving somebody $16 million as a running back.
Now I mentioned the Todd Gurley contract with the Rams. I also forgot to mention Ezekiel Elliott got, I think he got a 6-year, $90 million contract, which has $15 million per year.
Yeah.
Average as well with the contract he got with the Dallas Cowboys. With Christian McCaffrey, like I said, to me, I know he had a pretty good season last year. I don't know. I agree. I don't think he's really worth that. I mean, because I don't think he deserves to be paid like the best running back in the league. I guess that is where I'm going with that one. I think there are a couple that are better. I know like I said, he had a great year last year, but one didn't lead to any success for the Panthers. I mean, the Panthers did not make the playoffs. They went down. Cam Newton, of course, as we know, he went down early with the injury, and they did pretty well a little bit after that. But then the second half of the season turned out to be a disaster. I think there's a lot of value with running backs, even though there will be a lot of people who said, and a lot of people now say this, oh my gosh, the running back position is so devalued. I can't believe they drafted a running back in the first round. Look, I don't care what position the person plays. If you think he is worthy of getting that draft pick or giving them the contract, by all means, you have every right to do that as a team. Now, whether or not it's one of those things that is smart, it could be another question. But I think it just depends on the situation. For example, Patrick, so if you're Tennessee Titans and you have Derrick Henry there, you rode him to the AFC Championship game. You probably, if you were the Rams and you paid Todd Gurley like you did, you know that dude is essential for you getting to where you needed to get. Because if he wasn't able to run the ball, you're putting everything in Jared Goff's hands, and that's not a good place you want to put the games in.
No.
If you're the Dallas Cowboys and you have Ezekiel Elliott, we'll see how this turns out with Mike McCarthy being there besides Jason Garrett. But we knew with Jason Garrett, they were a running football team first. We don't really know what Carolina is going to be because they had a coaching change. They have this new coach in Matt Rule, who is there out of college. He was at Baylor last time. And we don't really know what system he's going to have in place. We don't know if the carries are going to come down. We don't know if the carries are going to go up. We don't know if he's going to be pass catching or pass blocking more. And those things that I just mentioned, Patrick, those are the things that I'm talking about with the value of the running backs because they do a lot of stuff for you. So if they do a lot of stuff for you, I don't understand how a position that does so much on the field is devalued. I guess it's probably because of you can get running backs in the 4th and 5th round now and still have them be successful. And I mean, that's the thing that I guess people are going with. But yeah, this contract, I wouldn't have gave Christian McCaffrey. No, I think it's high. I don't look at him and say he's better than a healthy Todd Gurley. I don't look at him and say that he's better than Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, so I don't know what the Panthers are doing. I'll go there. It seems like the Panthers are making a lot of questionable moves these days.
Well, to me, it seems like this is a pickup or this is a contract so that nobody else gets him. And that's what it seems like to me. So let's pay him a lot of money to keep him here, which kind of throws me off because you spoke of Carolina's head coach coming from Baylor, which is a pass-heavy team. So now, and I didn't even think about that when until you said it. Now I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I'm like, Baylor is a pass-heavy team. They were a pass-heavy team. I don't know what they're going to be at this year or this coming up year if they're playing. But Baylor was a pass-heavy team, and now you're signing a running back to a pass-heavy team unless you're really going to use him coming out of the backfield. Maybe pass block, stuff like that. But truthfully, when all said and done, I think this was just a contract to stop him from going somewhere else. That's what I think.
Yep. I mean, I guess I'm trying to remember when did Christian McCaffrey come out? I want to say this is he's going into his 3rd year.
3rd or 4th season.
Yeah, because he was at Stanford still. I think that was 2017 he got drafted. So yeah, I think he's going into his 4th year. So yeah, I mean, I guess it was coming to that time where it was time to redo the contract.
Yeah.
I just think
he only signed a 3-year contract at that point because it was that rookie contract. So yeah, I mean that makes a lot of sense. Let's sign him, get him on the roster so that he doesn't go in somewhere else. Makes sense.
Yep. I mean, yeah, I heard that contract. I said, wow, oof, that's a lot. And I mean, it's going to be interesting because, like I said, I don't know what Carolina's doing. Carolina, to me, I mean, it looked like they were trying to tank. Now they're locking up people. Maybe they're trying to go for it. I don't know what Carolina's going to do. If I had to look at it just from a standpoint of where they are at, which is the NFC South, I don't know if they're. I don't even know if they're the third best. They might be last place. To be honest,
As it
with the
stands right
teams
now,
that
they are.
are.
I mean, and that's just Tampa Bay putting in Tom Brady is automatically third place. You know what I'm saying? And in that division might be a second place finish. And that's just adding Tom Brady to the schedule or to the team. I mean, you don't even know what anybody's doing in there. The only really consistent team that you really can put money on right now is the Saints. So it's hard to tell.
See, I think the Saints know what they're doing. I do think the Falcons know what they're doing. It's just a matter of can they put it together on the field. We know they have the talent there.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see about Dan Quinn. I still kind of
That's
wonder
another,
how he has the job. But
conversation, bro. You're about to get me started, and we ain't got time for that.
all right. Well, yeah, you're right. So, all right.
Falcons fan, bro. You about to get something started, and we won't be on here for an hour and a half.
So we'll move on, and we'll go ahead. My bad, Patrick. So let's go to the NFL, or excuse me, to the NBA and NHL. Yeah. All right. Breathe, Patrick. Breathe. So, last topic for today, man. We're going to talk about the NBA and the NHL and whether or not it's time to just call it quits for the season. Now, as you know, and I know vice versa, man, we don't want to see the end of these seasons. We do want to see these guys come back, be able to play. If nothing else, maybe get the playoffs started. Something. We wanted to be able to see these guys in action, but here it is. It's mid-April. The NHL would have been in the midst of their playoffs right now. The NBA would have been starting their playoffs Saturday, this coming Saturday. And here we are. Nobody knows what's going to happen. The commissioners haven't made any type of statement saying which way they want to go. I know the commissioner for the NBA, Adam Silver, said, we're not trying to make any decisions on it until May. So I don't even know how that would look, because if you're going to make a decision in May, let's say for the sake of argument, Patrick, Adam Silver says, yeah, we want to come back, we want to start getting going. So do we have a 2-3 week training session to get the players back into shape, acclimated to game shape, and then start playing in mid-May? How is that going to work? If you're the NHL, are you going to do the same thing? How is that going to look? I just think right now it's getting really, really late in the ball game, man, and I just don't know if it's going to be a good idea even to start playing again after you've been off for a good little while now. What do you think?
Well, we talked about baseball last week, actually. And again, seems like the same thing to me. Just what baseball, they're trying to rush a decision, trying to make something happen that shouldn't be happening. You put these players back on the court, first thing they're going to do is they're going to pull hamstrings, they're going to pull groin muscles, tear calf muscles. It's just not worth it. Yeah, do we all want to see them back on the court doing what they do best and giving us some actual topics to talk about? Absolutely. It makes the show more interesting. But moving in the direction that they're moving in right now, if they do this, baseball, they're going to make a mistake if they do it. Basketball, NHL, same thing. You know, there shouldn't be a decision. There should be a decision, but the decision should have already been made yesterday. We're not doing it. See you next year. And just let it ride, because the problem is that you're going to push a season out 3 weeks. And if you push it out 3 weeks, then you're just not getting started probably somewhere around late May, early June for playoffs. And when you get that far, you're already screwing everything else up for June, July, August, September. And it's not fair to the players. It's not going to be fair to the fans. It's not going to be fair to the NBA. It's just a bad move. Just call it and let it be what it's going to be. Move on to next year and open up free agency on next Monday. Call it today. Open up the free agency and just say free agency starts today. If your contract would have been up at the end of the year, your contract's up today. Move on, and just move on, and let it be.
Yeah, and then let's say also, let's say they made the decision. Yeah, I brought this up earlier, but I didn't make this point. Let's say they do. They say they're going to start. We're going to bring everybody back. Going to get everybody back on the court and on the ice. And you decide that you're going to go straight into playoffs. So you're basically asking them to get situated. Oh, Brantley, my goodness.
Be on TV, bro.
So
he's as bad as his dad.
So you want to jump right into the playoffs. I mean, that is a whole different intensity there. So you're going from not playing for going on 2 months, and you were starting to get lathered up because, I mean, what? We're early to mid-March was when play stopped. I think March 11th was the last basketball game. And you're at that point, you're starting to get ready for the playoffs. You're getting ready for that playoff push. You're starting to get yourself in a position where you got your rotations down. You have people you know is going to be here, that's going to be there. You're starting to get things situated for the playoff push and ultimately to get to the playoffs and play in the playoffs. That got stopped. And now you haven't played for a couple of months. You're going to go straight into the playoffs after not playing for a couple of months. Just seems like a bad idea. And just like you said, a lot of blowed out knees. Yes, I said blowed out, not blown out. Blowed out knees.
Blowed out.
Blowed out.
Straight getting effed up out there.
Blowed out knees, blowed out Achilles, blowed out shooting arms. You know, I
mean, and they're going to be needing Tommy John surgery in basketball. That's going to be an issue.
It's going to be an issue. So exactly. Yeah.
What's wrong with you? And put it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it that crisp? No. I need Tommy John surgery.
You got to walk straight to the bench like that. Yeah. So, yeah, unfortunately, Patrick, I agree with you. Not unfortunate that I agree with you, but it's unfortunate because, yeah, if you've been gone this long, I don't see the point of coming back. Mm-hmm. And I get it. I know you want to give people something to cheer about. You want to give people something to talk about in terms of sports content, but I just don't think it's right for the safety. Yeah, money too. That's the number one reason, obviously. But I just don't think it's right. If we are concerned about the safety of the players, like everybody wants to make it out to be, then yeah, to me, the right decision is probably to just exit out. We'll see you next year. We'll get everything right, and let's go from there. Yep. So, well, all right, Patrick. Well, that will conclude this edition of the Breath of Fresh Air webcast. So, everybody, y'all know the drill. Make sure you go on the Breath of Fresh Air YouTube channel that Patrick is pointing to right now. Or actually, he's pointing at the subscribe button. My bad. Smash that subscribe button on there. Comments box as well. No, we do not have any issue with any comments coming through. As a matter of fact, we encourage this. So please leave some comments, leave some feedback. Let us know how we're doing, good, bad, or indifferent. Doesn't matter. Just let us know how we're coming across. If we can make some improvements, if you like what we're doing, whatever it is, and then we will respond to you. Also, keep those likes coming on the Breath of Fresh Air Facebook page, and we will be getting on Instagram here pretty soon. So Patrick and I had talked about that over the weekend, and this is part of those adjustments and part of those what's the word? I can't think of the word, Patrick. Additions. There we go. This is part of those additions that we're trying to make the show a better product. So,
and also that might be some subtractions as well.
Yeah. So,
like Twitter.
Yeah. So we're
I'm
constantly
hoping anyway. Charles, please.
so we're constantly looking at things to try to improve the product and get the product to more people. And so we'll make all those clear to you when we know them. We'll make the announcement, letting you know where things are going. So other than that, Patrick, am I missing anything?
Nope. You got it all covered, man. As usual.
Well, all right, man. I try. Thanks, man.
And you dead tired and you still got it covered.
Oh, man, yeah, I'm hurt.
Buckets.
I got, you know what? I got better as the show went along, though. I did. Like the energy picked up.
You stumbled at the front.
Yeah, at the front, I was awful. That was a bad performance. Yeah, I couldn't get no words out. So
it happens from time to the best of us.
So so I do owe you guys a shorty, so I will give my shorty out sometime in the next couple of days. Patrick will still be in his normal spot for his shorty, so I'll try to have mine out. Huh?
Fridays, baby.
Right. Yeah. So we will get the content out as normal. Like I said, mine is just going to be a little bit late, but I do plan on having one out there. So be on the lookout for that and for those other additions that we're talking about making to the show. And just keep viewing because we are here and there's a lot I know everybody is dealing with. So we're just trying to be people you can look at for some entertainment value to make y'all laugh, maybe make y'all cry of laughter as well. So
hopefully laugh.
Yeah, hopefully laugh. So, but either way, man, we're just trying to help. We're just trying to help you get through this tough time because hell, we're going through the same thing. We're trying to get through this tough time too, and doing this show helps us do that. So let us be those leaders for that. In the meantime, everybody take care, be safe out there, and we will talk to you later on this week. See you later.
And we'll wait